Hello beautiful souls, welcome to today's reading video. So I'm coming on to do this reading outside of my typical posting times because I'm getting this really strong collective energy coming through. Now, while I am saying that this is collective, of course within the collective there are many different waves, timelines, and specific groups of people, so this reading will not resonate for everyone. This is only for a certain group within the collective, but specifically the energy I was picking up on was a situation where your intuition is going haywire over a certain person, over some kind of connection in your life. Something in your life has really activated your intuition in a strong way, and you have this strong inner knowing about this person or thing that doesn't necessarily match or align with the physical reality at the moment. I'm getting that there might be signs of confirmation here and there, but the signs almost seem small compared to just how strongly you are feeling this intuitively. And for the person I'm speaking to here, the complication is because your intuition is speaking so loudly, whereas there isn't that equally strong confirmation yet in the physical world. You might find yourself questioning what your intuition is telling you here. So, I'm coming through with this message first and foremost to say your intuition is correct. And in fact, for some of you listening, that might be the entire purpose of this video for you, simply to know that you can trust the knowing that you're feeling intuitively about something. So of course we are going to get into some specifics on what this knowing might be, but keep in mind as well, because we are channeling many different people here, this knowing could be different from person to person. But the key point is here, if you're in a situation right now where your intuition has just been going absolutely crazy about something that you're feeling so strongly, but the reality at the moment, while it might be giving you small signs here and there, is mostly looking very different from your intuition is the guidance you can trust. However, I'm hearing trust doesn't necessarily lead to immediate action. And what I mean by that is, yes, you can trust the intuition that you're receiving, but this might be a knowing that you want to sit with, to allow to unfold naturally in the physical world. Especially if we're talking about a person or a connection like a friendship, a business connection, a romantic connection. If this is an interpersonal relationship, especially, I'm hearing although your intuition is correct, this doesn't mean necessarily to jump into action here, but to allow this to unfold naturally as you relax into that knowing. Trust the knowing and relax into it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards here. And of course, right as I am about to shuffle the Energy Oracle cards deck, I see at the bottom of the deck we already have the Yin-Yang card in the reverse position. So, this is my number one twin flame card in the deck, although this doesn't necessarily have to be a twin flame situation. But regardless of whether this is a specific twin flame connection or just a high-level soulmate, I'm sensing that there's a lot of energy pulling here. Now, of course, we're beginning to get a bit more specific because I said at the beginning, for some of you, this could be anything in your life. It doesn't have to be a person or relationship that you're feeling this intuition about. But we're going to get specifically more detailed regarding someone who's dealing with a love connection. So, if this is a love connection or something romantic, you felt a longing here. You felt a really strong longing, doesn't even really describe it perfectly because it's a longing. You've energetically felt tied and pulled to this person, and again, this is most likely making your intuition go crazy, because what I'm hearing is the person you're connected to is getting equal signals and signs. They are feeling the pull to you equally, but you are the more psychic one in the connection. You are the more spiritually awakened and energetically open one. And because of this, although you are equally experiencing this bond, you are much more open to consciously recognizing that this is a soul connection, and so the guidance is a lot louder and a lot more consciously perceived for you. Whereas for the other person here, I'm getting it's going to be more of a slow burn effect, where gradually they're going to realize more and more what's going on here. But the word absence is coming up, and this is going to get into an interesting message. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee here, hopefully. You have some kind of tea, coffee, or comforting beverage of sorts for the reading today, but what I'm getting is the person you're connected to is going to be recognizing the intensity and longevity of your bond in a much more organic, natural, and gradual way. This is simply because they seem to be a lot more skeptical, a lot less consciously open to spiritual concepts and ideas, and as a result of that, you are the more spiritually open or psychic one here. So, you are going to be more instantaneous and clearly and cognizantly understanding the nature of your connection with this person, whereas they are going to be realizing it more so gradually over the course of time connecting with you. Now, let's get back to that word absence. This is a bit of a complex message. Stay with me here. But your absence or your distance physically from this person is actually going to play a major role in showing them just how unique and intense their connection with you really is. This absence isn't really necessary for you because, again, being the more psychic one in the connection, you already cognizantly and clearly understand how you are spiritually bonded to this person. But the absence is important on their end because it's going to really allow that slow burn effect of your energy to set in. Now, let's get more specific. What's really going to happen in your absence or your distance is this person is going to realize it doesn't matter how much or how little they are seeing you physically or interacting with you physically, the bond prevails. You remain in their consciousness, they continue to think about you, and in fact, those feelings only get stronger when they are separate from you or disconnected from you in some way physically. And this is like nothing they've ever experienced before because with past connections, it was very much out of sight, out of mind for them, just as it always is for everyone with non-soul-based connections. Because in non-soul-based connections, all of our connection to that person is based on a series of progression of physical, 3D, visible, observable interactions, and those interactions directly correlate to the depth of bond that we feel with that person. Again, when the connection is non-soul-based, but when we are dealing with a soul-based connection, meaning our soulmates or a twin flame, depending on what kind of soulmate you're dealing with here, there is a deep unconscious soul bond that has pre-existed this lifetime. We have soul history, and even though we may not consciously remember those past lifetimes that we've spent with that particular soul, when we connect with them consciously, it triggers this deep sense of familiarity and bondedness. And I'm getting that you felt this immediately with this person, because you knew how you were going to engage with them, how you were going to interact. You may have even had a knowing of their sense of humor, their personality, even without knowing anything about them, and it was the same for this person with you. But once again, they were more closed off to it. They more so shut down those feelings of familiarity because they felt crazy for feeling that way. But what is going to verify to them that something very unique is going on here with you is going to be the absence that they feel from you. And in fact, for some of you, this might be occurring right now. So, this might be part of what's confusing you, because this person may have created space or distance. They might not currently be communicating with you in the 3D. There might be some kind of disconnect, and Spirit is urging you not to close that gap, not to be the bridge. Because once again, it's actually through this absence, or through this physical 3D disconnect, that they are going to be realizing the depth and longevity of what they're feeling for you. And it's going to open their eyes not only to the intensity of what they're feeling, but also to the possibility that there really is something more spiritual or esoteric going on here. Now, this is someone who is extremely logical, extremely skeptical of things that they cannot visibly see and observe. But the absence that they're feeling from you, or the distance, is actually going to allow them to observe this spiritual component to your connection. To a certain extent, of course, spiritual things are never fully 100% perceivable and observable all the time. But this person is going to be able to sense, on a deeper, more conscious level, that there is something going on here spiritually between the two of you. So I'm hearing, allow the distance, but relax in the knowing that your intuition is correct. Again, the distance or separation is actually really pivotal here, because this is that really monumental point in time where this person is going to have the opportunity to experience the full-blown intensity of the bond that they have with you. And without that distance, they actually wouldn't be able to really access that depth of intensity, because they would be consciously trying to shut it down with the logical mind. Okay, so wow, lots of messages coming through here. I'm going to continue shuffling the Rumi Oracle. Whoa, I meant to say the Energy Oracle, but maybe Rumi has a message for us, because I don't believe in coincidences or accidents. So let's actually get a Rumi card here. Now, while I'm shuffling, of course, if you do want to channel a more specific message from the reading, I recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do tend to allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. The Rumi card that we pulled here is Sacred Soul Sister, and here the guidebook says her truths may seem overly dramatic, so you may discount them as workings of an overactive imagination, or perhaps her truth tales are so subtle you dismiss them as meaningless, fleeting fantasy. The wise ones. However, know that the truths of the Sacred Soul Sister are powerful, relevant, and worthy of time and attention. They know her oftentimes strange and startling offerings hold the keys to unlock entire worlds, to open up new realities, and to transform the nature of our existence. From the deepest and most esoteric spiritual levels to the most palpable, practical daily realities of our living bodies in the physical world. Wow. So from that Rumi message, it's funny, I see it in a totally different light in the context of your reading today than I've ever interpreted those messages before when we've pulled that card previously. Because in today's reading, I really see you as being the Sacred Soul Sister here, meaning you have access to a level of divine information that might, on the surface, appear to be fantasy or delusion. And this individual that you are interacting with, I feel them almost being on the brink of some kind of awakening or being on the brink of opening up more deeply to esoteric and spiritual things. In fact, I feel that this is someone who, on a deep, unconscious soul level, has actually been asking, I'm hearing about the meaning of life or the meaning of their existence, or for more information about the deeper aspects of the human experience. And whether they did this consciously or unconsciously, this request that they made was granted through their meeting with you. So, you have been a wish granted. I'm literally seeing a wishbone, the concept of a wish being granted. I feel that you are a wish granted to this person, in the sense that meeting you has given them an opportunity to really begin to explore these previously unknown mysteries of either the inner workings of their own mind or concepts around spirituality that maybe they'd never explored before but had curiosity about. You're presenting them this opportunity to go so much deeper in this dance with life. However, this person, at this very pivotal moment, where there might be separation or distance, is almost deciding whether to take the plunge here. It's like that logical human side of them is trying to tell them this is fantasy, but there is such a deep urge and a deep pull really urging them forward. And so, part of why this distance or separation is necessary is because this is a time of this person, I'm hearing, allowing the energy to percolate, allowing it to sit with them, and have that slow burn effect that, by the way, your powerful energy always has on others. And it's almost as though they have to decide whether they're going to continue writing this off as fantasy and living in a very purely logical way, or whether they're going to open up to something a little bit deeper and more esoteric. I'm hearing, at risk of looking like a fool, so maybe this is someone who's afraid of looking delusional or afraid of looking nonsensical or foolish. But I'm hearing that's the price of connecting with such a divine being as yourself. You may resonate with the divine feminine energy, although that won't be the case for everyone. I'm just getting a lot of that divine feminine goddess essence coming up around you, and it's almost like you are this. I don't know why the concept of a siren is coming up in mythology. Maybe you resonate with the siren archetype, but it's almost as though your energy is magnetizing this person out into the deep of themselves, and they're feeling very entranced at this time. But also, their logical mind is trying to keep a hold over them, and I know it's become repetitive, but my guides just keep emphasizing the importance of allowing this silence, the importance of allowing this so-called apparent separation or disconnect. Because it's really allowing this person to feel the depth and intensity of their connection with you so much more viscerally and palpably. So, I'm going to pull some more cards on what they are thinking and feeling, as well as how your slow burn effect energy is likely to affect them. And whoa, okay, I just got a message before even pulling a card. As I was looking at that yin-yang card, I felt this energy of fixation, hyperfixation, like someone who can't look away from something, someone who just keeps rolling something around in their mind. And of course, the yin-yang card connects with the spiritual energy component of this very high-level soul bond that you have with them. So what that tells me is it's almost as though this person is hyper-fixated on the idea of figuring this out or understanding this, but they're doing so in some kind of silence. So they're not working this out loud or by communicating it to you. It's all happening within their own mind. So what is this person thinking about you? Okay, there's a fear of the unknown, because we have the Fool card in the reverse position. So this is someone who is feeling inexperienced or feeling like a beginner in some sense, because the quality of your connection with them is like nothing they've ever experienced. And quite frankly, they don't know how to proceed with this. There's some kind of new territory here. Maybe some of the circumstances surrounding your connection also feel very much like unknowns to them, or like new territory. I keep seeing a necklace. I'm getting something about the color green. This is someone who's feeling like they're being emotionally impulsive with how they're feeling for you so quickly. What they don't fully consciously realize is they quite literally can't help how they're feeling towards you so quickly, because it's a soul thing, it's an energy thing. It has to do with a past life history that you share with this person as well. So, I want to know how else this person is feeling for you. Queen of Pentacles, so they are absolutely perceiving you in a very positive light. They see you as someone who's I'm getting you have this rare combination of seeming like almost this magical, ethereal, divine being, but at the same time, you have a huge amount of common sense, and you're very down to earth. This might be something that this person is grappling with because they see themselves as very logically minded, very down to earth themselves, but they're very much opposed and closed off to esoteric things or spiritual things. And yet, when they look at you, they see this similarity in the sense that you are also someone who is, I'm hearing you think like them. Maybe you think similarly to this person. They see you as very down to earth, very logical, and yet at the same time, they know that you are someone who has this understanding of the mystery of life, this deeper intuitive wisdom that maybe others would label as fantasy or delusion. But that resonates with them in some space within themselves. Even though it runs so counter to their typical sense of logic and reason, they also see you as a very nurturing, warm spirit, a very nurturing, warm person. They are in conflict, though, with the Five of Wands. We have the Six of Pentacles, so this is someone only wanting to participate with you if they feel that the energy exchange is balanced, meaning they want to be able to meet you and match you where you are energetically. Somehow, I feel like this might be coming up against their ego, or might be creating some internal conflict. Now, only you will know if or how that resonates, but for some of you, maybe this is someone who feels, because of their current circumstances or status, that they can't really give to you in an equal way. And that might be creating some hesitancy or causing them to hold some distance. But again, that won't be for everyone. I will say that you and this connection are very active in their subconscious. With the Star card in the upright position, they find your presence to be, I'm hearing, like healing waters. It feels so rejuvenating and cleansing to them. And this is very rare for this person as well, because this is someone who they are unconsciously empathic in the sense that they might not fully realize it, but people actually do tend to drain them when they're around crowds or negative energies. For a certain period of time, it causes them to really close in or cave in on themselves. So, they're really surprised that this near stranger, especially if this is a recent connection, someone they don't know super well in the physical world necessarily, yet somehow rejuvenates their soul with their presence. Your presence around them causes them to feel like their soul is being replenished. And what I'm getting is this feeling is very neutral as well. I'm getting you feel this way around this person's energy also. The familiarity here is making this person nostalgic. With the Six of Cups, there's almost this sense of returning back to a younger, more innocent, purer state of being that you bring out in them. And once again, I feel this might be shared, where when the two of you are speaking or connecting, there's this timeless nature to those interactions. There is this sense that you would have connected in every place, state, and time, that it wouldn't have mattered what point the two of you met, that you always would have connected in this pure, open-hearted kind of way. I will say with the Six of Wands, in spite of some of the internal conflict happening here, this is someone who does seem to ultimately be very likely to move forward from their heart. But again, I see it happening after a bit of internal deliberation that is going to most likely, or is most likely occurring because of this sense of conflict. I'm hearing, what do I have to offer you? So, part of that conflict might be, what do I really have to offer this beautiful, magical, divine creature that I've encountered? I know that's a weird way of saying it, but I just so strongly feel that on this person's energy. So wow, this reading has been so fascinating. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I hope if this message was yours, that it reached you and confirmed something to you that your intuition already knows. Of course, take whatever resonates and leave the rest here. If you do resonate with my energy in a general sense, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. I hope you have a beautiful, magical remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.